perfect video for us to see Zombie, Gillian, because she's a black cat and it's Halloween and she's a zombie. Oh, it's a zombie! Zombie!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Final Fantasy Legend, Final Fantasy Crystal Legends. I'm Neil at theLimitBreak, and I'm here to introduce you with our.
That doesn't sound right. I'm Neil at theLimitBreak.
Well, I'm Neil at theLimitBreak. Are you sure?
I'm fairly certain that you are an imposter, madam.
I'll trust you for now, but be careful here.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, everyone at home. Welcome to a very spooky edition of Final Fantasy Crystal Legend. I am Neil at theLimitBreak, and I am joined, supposedly, and I am joined once again, by my very good friends whom I love dearly. You may notice the situation looks a little different. We're in different places. There are different backgrounds. We'll go in reverse order in this sort of opposite world. In the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, Captain Montigue, part-time sky pirate, full-time swashbuckler. In the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, coming to us direct from the Chaos Continent, from the Kingdom of Burmecia, Half-Guado Dark Knight, Gillian Guado. I am Neil at theLimitBreak in the top right-hand corner of your screen, and today I'm going to be a player because our game master for this evening, in the top left-hand corner of your screen, normally servant to Alexander, god of valor, Ki Mihgo, but today D.O.S. Skwrl, our special guest, game master for this very spooky Halloween episode of Crystal Legend.
Yes. Just to set a little bit of a setting, this is a non-canon episode for all those viewers at home. I don't want them to assume that all the crazy and zany things I put the players through. There's no allowing to do canon callbacks. No one's allowed to say, in the Halloween episode, No. We're just having some fun with everyone. That reminds me, did I tell everyone what the title of this session was?
Oh, we didn't do the title.
Yeah, no. It's called Double Toil and Trouble.
I'll edit that into the beginning. Yeah.
Okay. Before the curtain rises, the team has been back in Bastoke for a while now. However, the Hallowed Eve is coming upon the team. Because of this, the team's intrepid white mage, Ki Mihgo, has been all hustle and bustle at the local temple and honestly has not had a lot of time for our team, which, who wants to go questing without your white mage? And of course, also the administrator who handles all of the work. So the team's been a little idle all around town a bunch. And it's when Captain Montigue is sitting at the bar, wishing he had some swashbuckler adventure to do, that he runs into his old friend Andelo.
Oh, Captain, it's so good to see you again.
Hey, Andelo, pull up a stool.
Definitely. I'm gonna sit with my captain.
So, Andelo actually has some news for Captain Montigue about a big festival in Jidoor about Hallow's Eve. And since Ki is too busy to hang out with them, he actually ends up inviting Captain Montigue and Gillian Guado to Jidoor to go visit a fabled fortune teller and reader, and also participate in all the big festivities of Jidoor. You can't say no. This is actually happening. So, Andelo grabs up the whole team, who decides to come along for some Deus Ex Machina reason, and they all take the ship over to Jidoor. And when the team gets to the town, it's a big hustle and bustle, and it's the entire town is decorated with all this imagery of witches and bats and ghosts with large festive gourds. It's a little bit of an unusual scene, especially because, witches and magic's real. What's so magical about this? The scene curtain rises for all of you all as Andelo is leading the walk, or hopefully walk instead of a stumble, into visiting Latoya the witch. As you rise, Latoya, pokes her head up as the bell rings and the door opens. And an elderly lady with eyes white as snow looks up, looks up over her table, uh, and and smiles, kind of turning her head, not quite looking at our her guests, but towards them. And she goes, "Oh, oh, I already. Well, such a busy, busy night. Come in, come in."
Oh,
We
it,
see the future.
it's
See us.
it's so good to see you again, Matoya. I'm back for another fortune. You're so good at this.
Matoya puts both of her hands on the table as if to steady it, or just hold on to it for some reason. But she smiles so very brightly as she did. Oh, Andelo. Oh, dear Andelo. Please, please come forward. She cranes her neck to her head. Did you bring friends?
Oh, yes, I did. I've brought my trusty captain and his stalwart Dark Knight friend.
Good day, madam.
Oh,
Oh,
oh, oh, oh, that's a familiar voice. That's a familiar energy, but who else? Who else? Sure is a lot of you. Well, never mind. We don't need to introduce everybody. Come forward, come forward. Take a seat in front of the crystal ball. So again, holding the table, maybe because she's it's fallen over a few times.
and she's mad Andelo.
Yeah. She smiles towards Gillian Guado without really looking at her, almost like she's looking through her, like a blind lady often does, and smiles towards her. We've met before on many a plane. What a great soul. And then she kind of shakes that off a little bit and reaches forward uh, for one's hand like she often does.
Yeah, I'm
Uh,
gonna give her my palm because I go to Matoya all the time.
yeah. So you know the score.
Mm-hmm.
So she takes Andelo's palm and she runs her fingers along it once again. She's kind of feeling about. She goes, Andelo, your lines are always so peculiar. I can't seem to find your lifeline right now, though. You know, during these times when the veil is so thin, things become so crazy, energy so wild. So you you have to be careful, but you need to stop making problems. All of you, both of you, both of you need to behave. Stops. She kind of shakes it off. She's like, "Yeah, I think that's why I can't find your lifeline right now.
Hmm.
I really, I'm getting a really weird energy about you. Did you just get in town?"
Why, yeah, we just came in from my home of Bastock.
You should be careful about yourself. Don't trust you. I don't trust you.
Okay. And I kind of lean back a little bit in my chair to think about it, and like the front of my chair starts to tip a little bit, and then I kind of right
I'm gonna
myself.
put out my foot to
Yeah,
kind of catch him.
I just kind of right myself while I take this information. How could I not trust myself?
And Matoya slowly turns to Captain Montague, almost like she knows where he sits.
Yes.
You need to fix this. You started it. You need to fix it. And Matoya really shakes it off and she leans back and she looks positively exhausted for some reason. And she goes, "Oh, the spirits. Dearie, sorry. I'm sorry. The spirits are so strong. Today, I don't understand why the spirits are so I'm I'm sorry, dearie. I think I'm gonna have to close up shop early tonight. I this one's free. This one's on the house. I'm not in a great form tonight. I'm sorry, Andelo. I'm sorry. And she kind of just waves you all away. Like she wants you out, not like help yourself time.
Okay, I'm gonna get up and gonna help Andelo up.
I slowly make sure the table stays put and then follow out.
She does appreciate that, but she's staring at you, all three of you, like kids that she expects to rob her.
Hmm.
Like she's really
What did I do this time? I don't remember starting trouble.
We exit the building and I'll say, Captain, was you didn't? Is there a young woman in this town I should know about?
We weren't here that long, so no.
as you chat, um, the team, you notice a big hustle and bustle coming from the main town square. Now, when you came in, it was already an organized chaos of celebration and people either preparing or celebrating early. So it's not too odd to hear such a ruckus from this area.
It's like a big gathering of people outside. They're all hanging out, kind of thing.
Yeah, there's the beginnings of a party going, but right now you hear a bit of an extra commotion, like something might be amiss. If anyone wants to give me a perception roll to see if they catch something exceptionally exceptional. But for the most part, what I'm saying is you hear a commotion going on in the main center. You're down an arterial street from that, so you're not in the main town square at the moment. Captain Montigue, even with your statue, you really hear a familiar voice, and he's shouting mad, and you can hear him almost over the crowd itself. There's an incident going on in the square a couple blocks from where you all stand.
Let's go.
Hi, Captain.
Keeping up?
I've got my hand on my cutlass. I haven't drawn it, but I've got it there just in case.
So as you all run out, you see a bit of a milling crowd around this area, but along the edge of the crowd, standing right outside a building, is a somewhat familiar face. The assistant impresario Lamont is out there, and he is mad, and he is shouting at people, and it just seems horribly incohesive. Like it is, someone needs to fix this. Something is wrong. Someone needs to fix this. This is not okay. This is inexcusable. This is something has to happen now.
Hey, my friend. You remember us, right? What's the problem?
He stops, looks down upon you. You. How dare you be here? After all this happening, I'm sure it was you.
What I do?
The jewelry, you took it all. I saw you in the building earlier today, and now suddenly all the jewelry for our new orchestra is missing. Our new play, all of it is gone. Guards! Guards!
I just got here like 20 minutes ago. I couldn't have been.
What's lucky for you is that the impresario Lamont has been ranting like a madman for better part of 20 minutes. And so there's no real guards to actually come to his men. He's just mad. He's just steaming mad that his jewelry is missing for the opera.
It wasn't the captain. We swear, Captain. Was it? Did you steal jewelry the last time?
No, I didn't steal jewelry.
Okay. Just checking. Just checking.
The Impresario Lamont folds his arms and looks at Andelo. You almost have a trustworthy face. You don't seem to be the type that's competent enough to lie well. Well,
Hey.
if you didn't take it, then you better find out who did. Otherwise, I'm turning you in by tomorrow morning.
This sounds like a good deal to me. We can find who did it. What do you know of who took it?
All I know is that you were the only one I saw in the building today, coming out earlier today. Just about 10-20 minutes ago, you were sauntering around in my building. I want my jewelry back. If you didn't see who did it, find out who it is.
Somebody that looks like.
Someone disguised as you, Captain.
I don't like that. There's only one captain.
So the Opera House is open currently. It seems to be hosting a little bit of a gala. As you glance towards it, everyone throws their different own kind of party. So there's less of a hustle and bustle inside there and more of that. The Impresario Lamont beckons towards that, and he goes, if you go in the third door on the right, which you probably already know, it takes you back to the area where we store the jewelry. It's not locked now, and I will have my eye on you.
Keep them both on us.
He gives you a very upset look. Like he's not quite sure if he's ready to trust you, but he needs all of the jewels back for the show, one way or another.
So, as soon as he tells us which door to go to, I'm gonna start that way. Just like, let's get this done. I need to clear my name.
Right.
If I do a crime, I want to be blamed for that crime. But I didn't do this crime.
So as you all walk into the gala, I'd really love a new set of perception checks just to kind of, or anyone who decides to look around about the gala, I'd like to get that. Captain Montigue, as you walk into the gala, you see a lot of people in like a overdramatic and overly gaudy dress. A lot of people are wearing, those casual masks, just enough to cover the eyes, often mocking a spook or a beast man's appearance. Like some people have imp masks on, just enough to cover the eyes and the forehead so they can still talk freely and enjoy all of their overly expensive drinks. And it's a very gala-esque style thing. There's definitely a lot of high class up in here. However, what I'd like to note is Captain Montigue, as you're walking in, you actually are really sure that you see Andelo in the middle of the crowd. And when you turn back real quick, Andelo is standing right behind you, looking like Andelo. No one else noticed Andelo except for you, except everyone notices Andelo that's standing right behind you. Just saying, you think you see Andelo for some reason, but then there's no Andelo. It's just a flash.
Okay, so I see him, but he's no longer where I saw him.
Right.
It's just like, boom.
You just kind of saw him and you turn around and look at Andelo.
Andelo. And then when I turn back, he's gone.
He's gone.
I'm going to be like,
just behind you.
What? You don't move that fast, Andelo.
And I'm like cleaning my own fingernails right now.
Yeah. You managed to walk back. Other than that, nothing really seems out of place other than a lot of really snotty rich people, right? We've all talked about the opera before and the clientele that it brings in. So you walk backstage and there is a large dark area with several boudoirs lined up along the back wall, series of mirrors and seats. This seems to be the area where the stars of the show prepare themselves, apply all their makeup, jewelry, costumes. There's a rack full of various clothing. This is what you would expect from many a green room for such a fine opera as this. There is someone standing guard, kind of in the shadows, and basically just someone who looks really annoyed that they're been stuck post. And he goes, "Oi, no access."
Lamont sent us. Have you beforehand? Have you seen anybody come in and out of this room other than who should be here?
No one but you.
I haven't been here.
No,
Just-
but I mean, you're here right now. You're not supposed to.
Oh, okay. You mean now? Okay. Well, Lamont sent us to look so that we can investigate, so that we can figure out what's going on.
What do you mean, what's going on? No access allowed.
So that we can find the jewels, we need to know information.
I don't know nothing about no jewels.
I'd like to step in with this guy and say, you'll have to forgive my friend. He's one of those actors that's always in character. He's supposed to be back here, and we are his hand servants. We'll only be a minute. If
I would
that's
love to see that check.
That's okay.
Awesome.
Nice.
He rolls his eyes, sighs out, and he's got that defeated look of yet another prima donna. Like, he's just like,
Oh gosh, the prima donna. Is she? I hope she's not around.
yeah, but he's just like, well, he's got that look that you would give the prima donna, where he's like, of course. He wants to be outside partying right now.
Mhm.
He wants to be enjoying the festivities. And no, he doesn't want to be in this dark room. He wants to be out partying. So he nods and actually,
Go ahead and just take the rest of the day off. I need to be in here for the. And you might as well go and enjoy the festivities.
he pauses for just a moment. And like you could see the gears turning in his head. Like, and he goes, sounds great, actually. And he picks up his magazine and just starts reading it. He doesn't actually go home.
Good man. And I'm going to walk in.
Okay.
When
He doesn't stop at this point. He's bought Andelo's bluff.
when we go in, I'm just like, it was like the number 4, but I changed it a little.
Good call.
So you're in this dark room with all these different things. Where do you want to start looking first?
Is there any jewelry cabinetry on the dressers?
Most of the dressers have a top drawer, basically right underneath the lap or over the lap under the main thing, that has a small locking mechanism, and it's often where you will find the jewelry for most sessions. And then in the back, you'll see there's a large chest that looks like it would be to store valuables, as it also has a large lock.
Okay, probably going to start with the bigger lock. So just going to start examining it, not actually try to pick it or anything.
Okay. As you walk up to the very large chest, it's actually this ancient looking thing. I mean, like, this chest looks like it's 1 billion years old. Its surface is so weathered away that it just has this texture to it. There's not a smooth surface on it because of how old and ancient this chest is.
This seems out of place. Figured they would have used new stuff. And I'm going to start actually trying to open it, see if it's open.
So what happens is you hit the chest to see if it works, And what you actually find is the chest bites you hard. You take 4 points of damage as the chest gnaws into your wrist. I'd love for everyone to roll for initiative.
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm probably taking a look at all of the costuming that's like hung up to see if I can find anything that looks like the captain or because we both are kind of dressed like Limson pirates. So I'm curious if there's like pirate outfits nearby. But when he shrieks, I'm clearly gonna draw my cutlass and head for the captain.
Right. Okay.
Save the captain.
Save the captain, whose hand is currently in a mimic.
Save me!
So,
Mimic!
all right. So, Captain, you actually get to go first.
Since I didn't have a free hand, I don't get to use.
No, your hand
My
is in
quick
the.
draw.
Yeah, you do not have a free hand currently.
Yeah, which means I'm going to need to draw my sword with the other hand.
Good thing you dual wield.
Exactly. Actually, no, I'm probably panicking at this point, so burning hands.
Oh my. Okay.
That is your usual panic response.
No, it's a very valid maneuver to do your burning hands.
I will get this.
It's all right. It's a crazy Halloween special. We're all a little off.
Yeah.
All right. The mimic shrieks just as much as you did when you hit it with burning hands, and it bounces back and into against the wall. And when it hits the wall, you realize it's the guy who is standing at the door.
So he's burning hands, and this mimic box has now turned itself into the guy from outside the room?
The guy who was like, "Oi, you can't come in here."
Right, yeah. So the mimic box now is in that guise? Looks like...
No, it bounced back, and now it no longer looks like a giant chest. It looks like him.
Right, yeah. And now it looks like him. So I've seen this happen. But clearly, if this monster can make itself look like a box, it can make itself look like a person. So right. I'm still going to be in fight mode, especially since he attacked my captain. Is there anything nearby? Because I've got throw anything, and I'm curious if there's like a liquid, like a hair tonic, or like a mouthwash type thing that I can maybe try splashing into this dude's eyes from a distance.
So you were standing right next to the racks of costumes, which is right next to the boudoirs that have all of the different bottles and concoctions. So there's actually bottles aplenty for you to grab. What I would love to do is give me a 1d20 to let me know what you picked up and threw, because I assume you're just going to grab the first thing you see. You don't have time to. Yeah. I'd love to get a 1d20 to tell me what you grabbed.
Okay.
And then give me your roll for throw anything. You toss this bottle, and you don't really even look at it. All you see it as it's flying through the air, and you realize someone's going to be really mad when they realize you threw a 100 gold piece bottle of perfume at this monster. However, this ordinate bottle made of a very thin crystal smashes into the mimic's face, or at least facial area. And perfume, expensive or not, still stings like the dickens. And the creature regrets having a face real fast.
Yeah.
And unfortunately also now reeks of this extremely potent perfume. Xilianr?
I'm going to try and see if it's full of jewelry, because I have a theory. I'm going to go in with a power attack, actually, I think, which...
Oh, wow.
Just because it's a mimic, and it's hopefully full of treasure. Mimics are full of treasure, right?
Classically, yeah. Well, in Final Fantasy they are. Woo!
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
All right. Well, this mimic is already blinded and has a negative to its dodge. So I'm gonna have you roll for that damage.
Wait. Oh, and crit modifier, right?
Oh, yeah, times 4. So 76.
Is the mimic still alive?
Yeah, you deal a insane amount of damage. So the mimic is now dead. But the mimic doesn't die like you'd expect it to.
Okay.
What happens is your scythe wishes through the mimic, and not like it does a beast in any way, shape, or form. It whooshes through the mimic as if you were cutting a piece of cloth, and the mimic actually just essentially tears in half and then vanishes into a cloud of fireflies, which is weird because mimics aren't made of fireflies.
Was not full of treasure.
No, it's full of nothingness.
You okay, Captain?
I could use a little healing, but I'll be good.
I'm not magic. I'm sorry, Captain.
It's all right. If I get a little more hurt, I got something up my sleeve.
So, as you look about the area where the mimic was, now that the mimic is completely gone and disintegrated, you actually do see something kind of peculiar. It's a sword, not unlike the one that Captain Montigue carries, one of his rapiers, but it's not. It's like a toy. That's no fine quality sword. It's a toy sword. And next to it is a piece of very nice jewelry.
I'm going to pull out my sword and poke the plastic sword, the toy sword with it.
The plastic sword is actually just a plastic sword. It has a tag on it. It's just a toy, but it's definitely a toy sword.
I'm going to go get Lamont. You two stay here, guard the scene, don't touch anything. And I'm going to head out and go get Lamont.
So you're going to go head out and get Lamont by yourself. And you're going to leave these two people alone in this room.
Yep.
We're going to focus on you for just a moment. So you walk back out through the crowd, and the crowd is completely oblivious to any ruckus that you were making in the back. And honestly, you're just out and out being ignored as you walk through this area. And you walk out, and Lamont he is assistant impresario Lamont. He's looking fancy and posh and greeting people and making sure that no riffraff comes in the door. He's making sure that his party goes perfect.
I found one of your pieces of jewelry, I think. I'd like you to come and investigate with me, however. I left it right where we found it.
Pieces of jewelry? Sure, whatever. I'll come with you. Not a problem. Pheasants. Lead the way.
Okay. And I'm going to lead him back to where he was.
When you come back, you walk back into the back room and go back to where the jewelry is, and the plastic sword is laying on the ground, and so is the piece of jewelry.
And my teammates
are nowhere to be found.
Oh, good. We got distracted. Way to go, Gillian.
Should have just let you.
Okay, there's your equipment. Where are my people?
let's take a step back from this moment and rewind time about 10 minutes in the past. So 10 minutes in the past, you walk right out the door, and then he walks right back in the door. And he lets everyone, guys, there's a big commotion out in the party. We need to go help.
I Captain. And the jewelry?
Forget the jewelry. What's his face will get it eventually. Let's go.
I Captain. And so I draw my cutlass and follow the captain.
Guess I need to make sure you guys are going.
So, the moment you walk out through the door, both of you black out for a moment.
Oh. That jumped.
So, Captain Montague, you walk in and there's a piece of jewelry and a sword on the floor, and your teammates are missing.
I'm gonna be like, okay, Lamont, there is your jewelry. I need to go find my team. Something's up.
That little tiara is my jewelry.
Did you not just send us? You are blaming me for stealing your jewelry.
You got to do better than that little tiara. I'm just saying.
I will do better. That's the first piece that we found. We had to kill a mimic that wasn't a mimic. And
he kind of passed. Just
by the way, why do you have mimics in your dressing room?
There's no such thing as mimics in the dressing room. Get out of here. You're not wanted. Get out.
Oh, if I wasn't good.
Mimics in
the store.
Mimics in the dressing room.tumblr.com would be a great site.
Captain Montague, you walk out into the party and everyone is looking at you like you're covered in blood. Like,
I'm gonna start looking at myself like, what'd I do? I didn't do it.
So they're like, you oaf.
Somebody tell me what's going on.
Well, they look at you and they are just shouting, and you need to go apologize. That unnecessary behavior, just inappropriate. And one of the guests kind of motions over to the corner where you actually see Andelo and Gillian propped up against the bar. And they both looks like they've been jumped from behind and given one hell of a noggining. Now, having Andelo, bust his head on something is not unusual, but seeing someone knock someone of stature of Gillian over, at least enough to daze her and cause her to lose what's going on, that's a feat of barbaric behavior that is not recommended at the ball.
I'm gonna, as soon as I see him, just be like, run up to them. What's going on? Where did you guys go? What happened? Are you guys okay?
Fine, Captain. We're fine.
Where was the ruckus you were bringing us to?
I wasn't bringing you to a ruckus. You were supposed to stay in the room and watch things.
Wait, what?
There's another one. There has to be another one. Because I did not come. I don't know what this ruckus you're talking about is. I think there's at least one more of those things. This
Seems
isn't
right.
What should we do, Captain?
out of character. Kill everyone.
Burn it all with fire. It's not that not canon.
It's not that not canon.
We can no longer split up the party because we cannot trust that if we split up, who comes is us. If we see anybody like us, we need to come up with a code.
Got it.
The Tomberry walks in the field.
Unbury walks in the field. I got it.
One, immediately say that back again for me. And
The Tonberry walks in the field.
okay. We may need to check this periodically just throughout, even when we haven't lost track of him.
I'm not. Hey, I'm not stupid. Sometimes.
You're easily distracted. Easily distracted.
Let us be off and be careful. Now we need to find. Let's find Lamont. I left him in the room at the last time I saw him. Let's just go find that. Bam!
Onward.
So when you walk back into the room, of course there's no one in there. I don't know what you expected to do. Lamont's not in there.
Is the guard still there?
Oh no, the guard's gone. The room is now empty of any living or unliving being that you can see. It's now just an empty room.
I'm gonna poke the dressers with my sword.
I will shortcut this to inform you that there are no mimics among any of the furniture or clothing that you can poke. Like poke everything. I just don't want you to sit and poke everything in the room.
Excellent.
You know that's going to be a thing from now on.
Yes.
Okay. No more mimics. And Lamont's not here. He probably went back to the party. If that is Lamont. If it's not Lamont, I don't know where he went. So let's go check the party.
All right. So what happens is that you all walk out back into the party, and a lot of people are kind of just over the shoulder, like, "Oh, those who comes to a party of this caliber dressed like that?" Whispers amongst the crowd. "Look at the barbarians fighting at a gala like this." But I get a perception roll from everyone. You know, Captain Montigue, you are on point.
He's on edge.
He is. He's on edge. He is not having a good day. So you're the first one to notice the assistant impresario Lamont make a insulted sound at someone and throw an entire glass at a person, which of course this makes this starts a big my 500 gold piece dress, how could you have done this? And like it just it's turning into a scene fast. This party is getting unfun.
To Lamont. And I'm gonna jump on Andelo. On his back.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a beeline for the impresario. I'm wondering if Andelo, with the captain on his back, is gonna remain upright for the majority of that.
So,
or if there's a crash involved somewhere.
I can't imagine that with the number the GM just rolled that Andelo's gonna do that.
Okay.
I think Andelo's gonna try to do that.
Okay.
What happens is Andelo is actually going to he's going to take about 5 steps forward and do this forward roll that throws the captain, and not just drops him, throws the captain at a somewhat familiar face, the prima donna. So Captain Montague goes smashing into the prima donna, bowling her over, sending drinks and dress parts and jewelry flying.
The Lady Celestina.
Yes.
I am so sorry. My friend, I expected him to be able to hold me. Apparently he couldn't.
I'm attempting to stand up and like knocking more people over as I'm trying to get up from this.
Yeah, right now I view Andelo as a crashing ball. He is just causing a huge problem. Like he's knocking people over left and right, just trying to get on his feet.
I'm gonna be like, I'm sorry, prima donna. I need to go help him. Otherwise, this is gonna get worse. And I'm gonna go run over and try to pick him up.
As you are saying that, she is winding up this disgust face, and you know that you have about 30 in-game seconds before she unleashes a scream that is going to cause problems for everyone.
Magic.
Her mouth is open currently, correct?
Yes.
Magic.
What do I got? Ghost sound.
To create an alternate sound?
As soon as her mouth is open, I'm gonna make it sound like she's belching. I'm sorry, but
she opens her mouth, and what she was going to say was probably extremely profane and probably was calling for your head, but instead rolls forth a belch upon the ages, one of those rolling reverberatos that only the voice of a operatic singer can let out. And it's the kind of vibrating sound that rolls through the walls and shakes up and down the spines of everyone in the room. The room is silent. For those who believe that it was a belch versus those don't, none care. No one cares if they believe. All they know is what they heard.
All right.
Everyone is aghast. This party is ruined.
Well,
I think we just helped the mimic with its goal.
we did it, team.
So, Captain Montigue, how are you going to help this wrecking ball of Andelo?
This should be fun. I'm basically going to be trying to use my
acrobatics.
Yes. Basically, every time he starts swaying away, just basically move over, push up.
I like this. I like this idea a lot. Can I get a roll against your acrobatics?
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Whoa. That's a 31.
So you managed to use your acrobatics to steady Andelo and managed to keep him from bowling over. You actually managed to steady him out. Because it's a critical, I'm actually going to be a little more than you just managed to steady Andelo. I'd like you to note that throughout this entire endeavor, Andelo hasn't even managed to spill his beverage.
Nice. Drinks are important.
I'm sorry about that, Captain. I don't know what happened.
It's my fault. I shouldn't have put that pressure on you.
Good job with the belch sound, though. That was really good. Shit. Can you show me how to do that later?
I can try. It's kind of a wavy hands thing.
So at the front door, while you all are jibber jabbering, the Lamont impresario, or the assistant impresario Lamont, has been standing at the front door and watched all of this. Which is weird because you followed him into the room and he's standing at the front door now and he looks like he could faint. He is color washed out. He's like, first my jewels and now my party.
First your play, and then your tools.
Yeah, my play. Why do you hate me?
I don't hate you.
You
have a problem with
this rude. And he's crying. Mascara down the face. He's a crushed assistant impresario. Like, he is just destroyed that you've ruined his play, stolen all his jewels. I thought you would do something to help me. Why? And he just starts like a broken Elvon does. He just like throws like his glass at you. Just he's ruined.
Wait, did you just come into the party because you were just here?
I was in the front door the whole time.
There's an imposter.
Imposter?
One that can change its shape. And I think it's been taking your form and my form and my big friends here form. And I'm pretty sure the prima donna even.
Get her guard, just take the banana away. I don't need. So he actually commands that one of the guards takes the prima donna away, even though she has regained her voice and has started screaming. And the actually started crying with that. They actually end up taking the prima donna away of all people.
I feel horrible for that one.
You scan the room, and there's only one of everyone in the room. So it seems that that you can't spot a doppelganger of sort. I mean, many people are wearing different masks and anything, but no two people look exactly the same.
What kind of furniture is about?
There's almost no furniture in a gala like this. This is the kind of place where you wouldn't find like tables to stand around or chairs to sit at. You're kind of expected to be milling about with people. So what few furniture is about, people have been milling about for quite a while. You can feel free to stab it all, but good try.
No, I'm not going to stab the furniture in a public place.
Yeah.
It could have escaped to the back if there was more than one. Or they could all be.
They could all be. Oh, Captain, nobody can leave.
Lamont, lock the doors!
I just do the thing when I do. So I'm really good at doing that on Today at Command today. Everyone kind of, and unfortunately that probably blows my levels out too. I apologize if that's the case. Everyone
Actually, sounded pretty good.
Okay, so the guards go out and they all kind of like lock the doors, and so now you're in a locked room with, hypothetically, with a mimic.
Okay.
All right. Do I see the guy that was at the door in this group of people?
No.
The magazine guy, no. Okay.
You haven't seen
Nobody-
magazine guy killed since you killed the mimic.
Okay, so that's probably who it was. All right. Lamont, do you know everybody here?
Okay. I'm gonna I have Squire's clothing on underneath my armor, which I imagine involves some amount of like light leather gloves that don't offer any protective value. But I'm gonna take one off and just like slap the impresario a couple of times and be like, "Get a hold of yourself, man! Get a hold of yourself."
After a series of slaps, he looks just. He has this moment where he's just, you can see his soul escaping, and then suddenly he springs back up like they all often do, and he springs back up. Thank you, peasant. Got a hold of me. That's fine. That's fine. We're fine.
Yeah.
Someone comes over and grabs him like a very expensive cloth, and he dabs his face and fixes it up, throws it on someone who takes it and scurries away. All right now. So, since you started this mess, fix it.
Well, there's the catwalk. We know about the catwalk from earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wonder if maybe I can climb up there and see if I can get kind of an overarching view of the whole place.
Andelo is gonna climb up there.
I work in a ship. I can climb.
As the DM of this quest, I will not stop you from any idea. So
Yeah, I mean,
there is only yes and.
it's true. I feel like so I feel like I'd like to go up to the catwalk area and see if I can find anything. So this is my climb roll.
Nice.
What up?
I'm a pirate. I can work on a ship. I know how to climb and rigging and stuff. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, you make it up that rickety ladder.
I was just more worried about you falling off it once you're up there.
sure.
I can't vouch for that. However, again, you're a pirate, so you have no problems, slinging yourself up that ladder. Like you look like you belong up there. Like you're up there, like the best rigger that they've got. So you hoist yourself right up onto the catwalk, and you're on. I mean, it's a person-wide catwalk, nice and long. It's got guardrails. It's not without a bit of safety. You're on this catwalk, and you can see the gala is held almost all in the main area, which you're at.
So we're in the big auditorium, and I'm kind of over the stage, and the party is on stage and in the orchestra.
The seating area is kind of fenced off, and you don't see anything in particular in it. Basically, they don't want people milling around in the seats.
Okay.
The gala is mostly on the very large stage.
Okay. And then maybe I can make a perception roll if that sparkles with the other girls.
Yes.
And see if I can see anything from this angle, which I don't, apparently.
So what happens is, Andelo, you climb up into this catwalk, and I mean you slide up in there smoothly, and you're looking about, and the house lights and all the stage lights are up. It's bright. You can see all the ornate decorations that are normally hidden in the darkness of the show. So Andelo, as you're walking across the catwalk, looking across the arena, you go to look out into like the seating area and stuff like that, and you kind of like look right up, like you kind of flick your head up, and you're blinded by the stage lamp right above your head. So you are both blinded. You are temporarily blinded and disoriented on the catwalk.
On the catwalk.
On the catwalk. Yeah. That's a different song. All right. Well, I did my thing. I'm apparently dazed.
You were dazed on a catwalk.
Yeah.
I'm gonna calm myself. And I'm going to address the entire party and be like, okay, I want to hear your best gossip. Who do you see as not supposed to be here besides me and my 3 friends?
Everyone kind of gives you like the dirtiest side look, like, besides you and your friends? I would, if you can't roll diplomacy, yeah, you're getting nothing without a roll out of these people. They are very...
Natural 20.
That's the third one of the day. It is Halloween.
This is Halloween. So, wow. All right. So, you managed to take control of the situation. You were the captain. You're in charge of this situation now. Everyone kind of has figured out that Assistant Impresario Lamont has deferred to you, and everyone looks around and you really kind of get everyone who's here is supposed to be here. Seems to be that the
What about the waitstaff?
but the waitstaff amongst each other kind of give you the same attitude. Like everyone, like no one can vouch for everyone in the room, but everyone in the room more or less can vouch for somebody. And that somebody can vouch for somebody. So you kind of have a little bit of a chain of trust of no one's pointing fingers at anyone that they don't recognize, that they wouldn't like, that's pretending to be in a social group, something, a stranger of sort. And so that's the moment when a sandbag comes crashing down.
I didn't do it.
Except, did you do it? Because you're stumbling around up in a catwalk blinded.
I mean, it does say that I can't act normally when I'm dazed.
Yeah.
Dazzled, yeah.
Yeah,
dazed
you're
and
dazzled, so you might have accidentally knocked over a sandbag.
I don't know if I did.
Yeah, you could probably bump.
I mean, does this sandbag hit somebody, or is it almost hit me? Or
Yeah, it actually almost hits you. It doesn't hit you. It's more or less, it falls within a coincidental sphere of you, but it doesn't necessarily feel like an attack on you because you are kind of standing over the sandbags or by the sandbags.
I'm gonna look up at Andelo like, really?
And he's standing right there too, dazed.
Did I do something? I don't. You have that tone in your voice like when I would do something.
You almost dropped a sandbag on me.
A little trouble. I'm having a little trouble up here, Captain. I'll be down in 2-3 minutes.
All right, now, Captain, 2 more sandbags come flying down directly at you this time. I really need you, because you're standing under the sandbags. I'm really going to need a feat of dodge the hell out of these sandbags. If you would like to use any acrobatics or panache or any other skills you'd like, I'll allow it.
I'm just gonna use my acrobatics because
Okay.
I have one hell of an acrobatic skill.
Oh. Nice. So tell me what this kind of acrobatic stunt that you do. There's multiple sandbags coming at you.
I'm basically gonna plot where they're coming out. I'm gonna make, and I'm actually just gonna sigh before I dodge to the side and then roll forward.
All right. So,
I'm curious. Sorry, go ahead.
you dodged those 2 sandbags. The third one you didn't see coming hits you in the head. 2 hit points.
How many?
2 hit points. It's just a sandbag. It hurt because you're not very large, but
I'm curious what Gillian is doing in all of this.
you
Oh, no,
have
I'm watching this because seriously, sandbags. I'm also standing back away from the sandbags.
Andelo, get down here!
Hi, Captain.
that's still a plenty good enough roll for you to make your way, slide on down that ladder. A 10's you don't come down as gracefully as you went up after, looking directly into a stage light, but you still managed to slide down without hurting anyone.
All the colors.
Yeah. You still got a few colors in your eyes, but you've pretty much come back to you.
Sandbags? Really?
I was looking for devil may care. I was looking for doppelgangers.
I'm gonna just kind of like pull out my sword and just start stabbing all four of the
sandbags.
Sandbags.
You discover that all the sandbags are not mimics. And everyone just kind of watches you in raw amazement. Can you give me a roll of Arcana? Do you have Arcana as well, Captain Montigue?
I do.
Can you both roll me Arcana? So you both, after about 5 beats, stop and go, did he say doppelgangers? Those kind of spirits haven't existed in years. And who was talking about doppelgangers?
Yeah, we actually said mimics, not doppelgangers.
He said that he was up on the catwalk looking for doppelgangers.
Yeah.
Which are mysterious spirits that were legend to be much like, imps, but mimics. But they were just spirits. But they've been said to have been extinct and banished to the spirit realm forever. They're creatures of lore that no one's heard of.
Hey, Andelo, what's our catchphrase?
The catchphrase, the Tonberry walks.
I'm going to kick him in the shin.
The Tonberry walks in the field. My shin.
There's a banging on the front glass door. And there are 3 policemen who look angry. And they want in.
They probably want to.
So, Assistant Impresario Lamont is not going to fight the law. He opens the door, and there are these 3 policemen, and they're like, "Is this yours?" He's caused 20 gold in damage down at the party, and it's your friend Andelo.
Oh, good.
I'm going to look at Andelo and then back at Andelo like, oh no.
We found him, Captain.
I'm going to look at the Andelo that says that and like, but you're him. Pull them in, put them both on a bench.
So there's now 2 Andelos lined up on a bench, and they're both probably, well, Andelo can tell us what Andelo is doing, and Andelo is. But
yeah.
They're both acting more or less like Andelo.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Andelos. How did I lose the ship?
Well, Captain, you know, ships, they lose them. And then that Andelo sneezes, and you smell an incredibly expensive perfume.
Stab!
So the mimic kind of the doppelganger sees this coming and jumps backwards. It turns out that even though it looks like Andelo, it's incredibly
dexterous.
Yeah, the kind of mimic that could, I don't know, cause a major scene tumbling without even spilling its drink.
Oh no.
Yeah. And so it actually manages to do a very acrobatic flip backwards, and it looks cornered and it's scared. It still looks like Andelo, but it's trying to figure out It's clear, like its eyes are darting around, and it's trying to figure out its escape route.
Orders, Captain. I suppose
You're the real
I am the real Andelo. I just be like, orders, Captain.
Before I can give orders, I'm going to cast Hidden Diplomacy on the mimic.
Ooh, okay.
What's the resist on that again?
It'd be wisdom based.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a spiritual trickster from the other realm. Slip through the veil. Your hidden diplomacy is cast upon it, but you don't know if it cast.
Yeah.
You can't tell whether or not it's.
I'm just going to say one thing. Stand still.
It's gonna laugh at you. It's gonna laugh really hard at you. It's gonna laugh so hard at you, and then it's gonna become you.
And now it's going to get complicated. I'm going to do my battle magic to strike at it with shocking grasp.
So you're gonna initiate combat with this mimic. There is a bench between you and the mimic.
I'm not acrobatic enough. I should be able to flip over it.
Give us that anime description.
Yeah, I mean, so give me the roll for this. You're gonna flip over a bench and attack it. I'm assuming this is gonna cost some sort of panache points. I've been wrong before, but
not if I don't use the panache. I could just use my natural acrobatics for that.
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, give me that.
I mean, I could put panache on this,
Woo!
but I don't need to.
A 19 plus 11.
Wow. So yeah, you give it that shocking sword and it kind of hits that. So you know, it looks like we're about to go over to combat. Right before it starts, Gillian Guado, you look over at yourself and go, these guys. And then realize you're looking at yourself.
There's more than one.
And roll for initiative.
And roll for initiative. All right.
Captain Montigue is faced off with himself.
Mm-hmm.
You are sitting on a bench, more or less equidistant between the two.
Mm-hmm.
And then Gillian Guado is actually closer to the door, the exit. And she's also standing next to herself. Although herself is not doesn't look aggressive, just screwing with herself.
So
The other Gillian Guado hasn't banished a weapon and attacked her.
I'm gonna just reach into my pocket, pull out a bottle that's green and uncork it and just dump a sleeping potion.
Oh, yeah.
The doppelganger next to me.
Yeah.
And now, with my unconscious hostage of a second doppelganger, I'd really like to pull attention from the perfumed doppelganger that I have a very large scythe and their unconscious friend.
So what happens is you pour a sleeping potion on one of the doppelgangers that looks like you, and it kind of gives you this really incredulous look. Like, really? I mean, who? God.
Crash.
And then thin word just crashed to the ground. It starts getting really fuzzy, actually. Rub your eyes, and it just seems to be out of focus for some reason. So it is now unconscious. And it is now Captain Montigue gets in the round.
I'm going to stabby.
You're going to stabby. So you attempt to dodge yourself with great agility, but manage not to dodge yourself. So you give another stab into this one. And now Andelo.
Well, I've seen our Guado friend just make this other creature unconscious, especially after she said there's more than one. And so I think what I'd like to do, can I make it to her and this other doppelganger in a move action?
Yes.
Okay. I think what I'd like to do is run over to this sort of sleeping-ish one. I've got 50 feet of hemp rope in my bag, and I'd like to just tie up whatever is down there, just in case it wakes up.
I'd like to note you tie it up successfully.
Okay.
You have that skill and that ability. It's not hard to. The doppelganger doesn't necessarily be to be asleep, but it can't really like move, and when it talks, it sounds like it's a radio that's not quite on the dial. And even when you grab it, every once in a while, you just kind of fail at grabbing it and tying it.
Oh.
But it could just because you're Andelo, but maybe it's just for some reason, yeah, it's kind of the entire being seems to be just like a half a hertz out of focus.
Okay. Well, worst case scenario, this barely works.
But it's captured by your rope. Like you are able to manipulate it and tie it up, and it is kind of like struggling, but it's having difficulty moving and making words.
Okay. Well, that's good enough for me. I did something productive, and hopefully it stays put.
Captain Montigue, with sword on guard, kind of does a bit of a sidestep, fakes you out, and then stabs you for 4 hit points.
Ooh.
You are fighting yourself, and I am actually using your statistics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just beware, you're evenly matched here. And anything he sees you do, he can do.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
Or just as well.
Yeah.
I'm fighting Negami.
You are actually. Gillian Guado, it is now yours. You've knocked out or you've incapacitated you. And you seem to be a little out of focus, but now you are fine over here. And Andelo seems to have the other you handled.
I'm gonna go over cautiously by our other mimic, the Montigue.
I'd like to note though, because you've turned and looked at another mimic, and these two have been in combat. Who are you going to go stand by?
No, I'm not actually going to attack either of them. I'm more accurately going to say, okay, look, we have one of you. All we want is the jewelry back. You can go if you give us the jewelry back.
Or
we're already stabbing him, I guess. And I did earlier with the slicing.
Mm-hmm.
So I am going to go with intimidating, actually, just because we're combat now. There's 2 of me, one of which I know is me, but the other one I don't. And
at this point, Captain Montague can't be sure which one of you is you. Anyway, well, one of you is out of focus. I think it's very obvious which one is not you. Sorry.
I'm not blurry.
Yeah. You are incredibly in focus and real. So
yeah.
So that's a beautiful result too.
Mm-hmm.
So the one of the Montagues kind of laughs a little bit. Ha ha ha! He laughs and kind of like does a swatche and takes a step back, and then sheathes his sword. But does the other Captain Montague do that?
Hell no. I'm not sheathing my sword.
Well, Xilianr has talked this Captain Montague down or intimidated him down. And it seems to be a maneuver of faith to put away one sword.
I'm just gonna go to her. You might as well kill us both.
That's the captain.
I miss Ki.
Well, the thing is, the other Captain Montague isn't going to do the action to procure the jewelry when Captain Montague is clearly going to be able to take a attack of opportunity on it when it does that.
I'm just kind of, I'm going to lower my blade, but not actually put it away. Just kind of like,
In an unarmed stance.
yeah.
Okay.
At this point, I've drawn my cutlass and are standing next to Captain Montague, 2 sword points in the general vicinity of this thing, but I'm not going to strike unless I'm ordered to.
Then I'm going to dissolve combat, and I'm going to have the mimic actually does this thing which Captain Montague coughs, and then he belches, and then he belches again, and it sounds horrible. And then he makes this wretched sound, which kind of looks like just it's coming up, and then it makes this horrible toss-up sound, and its face distends greatly, not unlike a chest opening up, which looks horrible on Captain Montague. It's a truly horrific scene, is what I'm trying to say, as it actually voms up a bunch of jewelry, like really high-end, bright, sparkly, not a speck of anything on it, but it makes it as graphic and horrible sounding and horrible looking as possible when it does it. Like, it's actually incredibly difficult to look directly at, because it's like the horrors bringing up this exquisite jewelry. And then
I hate mimics.
once it's done, its face snaps back, and it's Andelo's head on Captain Montague's body, which is weird because Andelo's head is physically bigger, so it's really just it looks just incredibly inane and crazy. And after that, it's holding all these jewels.
I'm going to look at Lamont. Your jewels, sir.
It laughs and drops the jewelry everywhere, which makes Lamont look like he's about to cry again. And there's this moment where it's standing in front of you, and unfortunately, because you looked over to Lamont, it wisps away like a puff of smoke and shoots over to its friend and rematerializes as normal Captain Montague, right next to
I'm gonna yell. Yeah, I'm gonna look at it and say, "Wipe that smile off my face."
Oh, yes. Thank you.
This is why Skwrl signed up for this job.
It really is.
For that line.
So it goes, and it touches its friend, and they actually both go really out of focus, and the clock strikes midnight, and they both explode into fireflies.
I told you, Matoya is the best fortune teller.
He didn't steal the jewelry.
Yep. So that is the special one-off session that I prepared for everyone.
Good job, Skwrl.
I really hope everyone enjoyed this game. As troublesome as it is, there was a lot of hints dropped everywhere. But in the end, it was a little bit of brute force and fun, and really ingenuity on Gillian Guado's part, knocking out one of them with a potion and then just right out intimidating it out. Yeah, the silent hero of the night managed to retrieve the jewelry, and well, I mean, the party's still kind of ruined, but you got the jewelry back.
We had
So
one more.
you're 1-0. You're you're 1-1. Thank you everyone for joining us at this game. Thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this one-off. I spent about a month and a half trying to figure out and write it up and make up a couple things and get it all going. Thank you very much for Neil at the Limit Break for letting me be the guest GM at his table. It's a great honor to play around in other people's universes.
It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure to have you do it. I obviously, you are very experienced as a GM.
Thank you. I am Neil at the Limit Break, and I have you. Oh no, wait. It's another doppelganger. I'll let you talk us out then.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you very much out in YouTube land for watching this this one-off special episode. Thank you to D.O.S. Skwrl for hosting, and of course my very good friends Gillian, Guado, and Captain Montigue, of course, for coming along on this adventure. We hope that you had a good time, and we will return back to our next portion of the storyline, our main story, with the next upload. But until that time, be good to each other and have a lovely, lovely Halloween.
And Mary Samhain.